Welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 amazing things that you could do with GenSpark, the most powerful AI agent tool that you can use in your toolkit for entrepreneur, for professionals. This is such a cheat code compared to what ChatGPT can do. Quick TLDR, what is GenSpark? GenSpark is a collection of 9 large language models and a suite of tools like to create slides, presentations, images, documents, and so much more. So it's like a collection of tools and AI agents where they will select the tools and go about their way to actually do work. Whereas ChatGPT just regurgitates text. This will create presentations, create slides, we'll do videos, we'll do images, we'll do applications, we'll do marketing strategy, even a content calendar and so much more. Like, this is such a powerful tool. Now, it's not going to replace ChatGPT because ChatGPT has custom GPTs, which is just as powerful. But this is basically your workhorse of a tool that you're going to give bigger tasks. And the way it thinks underneath the hood, the way it uses different tools to actually get work done is actually really impressive. And it would change the way that you work just adopting this one tool. So the first demo I want to show is what's called a Spark page. A Spark page is basically like a Wikipedia article with a chatbot and a table of contents, so that you can start, because what GenSpark does is equivalent to Manus, not as comprehensive as Manus, but it's comparable, where it actually goes out onto the internet, sources a bunch of information, so then it goes and collects data, then synthesizes that data into like a nice little Wikipedia. Everything is also cited, so you get less hallucination, which is super nice. So for this example, I was working with the client, and I was like, hey, what are the top AI tools in dentistry? Let's do a deep dive. And so it took about 5 minutes to go ahead and put this together. And you can see on the left-hand side, all these are hyperlinked. So this could be the start of a book, a lead magnet. It's very comprehensive. And then in the middle is the body of the text. And you can see that gives you a table of contents. It's like a whole deep dive, almost like a Wikipedia article. And then on the right-hand side, you can actually chat with the knowledge. So you can say stuff like, for example, what are the best 3 tools? And then as you're chatting with it, it's going to read the article and then answer so that you can actually interact with your new knowledge base. So everything that you see is what's called a Spark page, when basically you ask it to go get information to learn a new topic. Number 2 demo is the ability to create applications. Like, this is more mock-up for applications before you actually dive into like a Lovable or a Replit or anything like that. If you want to quickly build an MVP, it will even interact. It just won't have a back end pretty much. So this is a full app. It's hosted on GenSpark. Basically, it's a project and task management application. So like here, I have my set of projects. I can add a new project and then add whatever I want here, but it won't save because there's nothing really to save. It's just a front end application basically. And then you can see a list of tasks, they're interactive. And then I could also track my time. So I got different features, very nice. This all came from one prompt to say, hey, build me a task and project management app for my business that has these requirements. So look, files, messages, nice, clean. But this will be like a mock-up that you'll then put into like a Lovable, Replit, Bolt, or something like that to actually build out, or even a Firebase, for example. This is another example of an actual front-end web app that actually does a feature. It's all just written in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but it actually does all the coding. So this is just a readiness assessment, like rate your assessment to see if you're ready for how far behind are you in AI. And it will actually like change the numbers. As you can see, it changes the numbers as you move it. So you can rate it, and you're basically answering these questions. They technically go through the curriculum that we teach inside the AI community. And at the very end, it's like, okay, calculate my score. Does a little calculation. And then, oh no, you're behind. And then get started in 30 days for $1. We don't have this offer anymore. But this whole thing was like a great little lead magnet, all coded through GenSpark. It's actually still hosted on GenSpark. So you could actually embed this inside of your app. So very interactive apps is pretty fascinating what you could build with GenSpark. Number 4 is image generation. So inside of GenSpark, look at all these image tools: Flux, Context, Dolly, Gemini, Ideogram. Like, you can select any one of these models. You're not limited to just one model. So as each of the models get better collectively as a whole. So GenSpark doesn't have any like AI model of themselves. They actually just API and connect. Even Seed Dream is in here, Imogen, Dolly. And then you could do this mixture of agents where it will run the same image prompt, so you can actually see the difference between them. I don't know. I think Flux Context Pro was really good, just depending on how you prompted it. So we were doing AI avatars for ads using this process. So and you just refine as you're prompting. So it does images. Then you have video generation as the next one. So you could take any image and then give a prompt to say like, hey, smile at the camera. And GenSpark, same thing, has you get VO3, Kling, Seed Dance, Minimax, and so much more. And it'll turn that image into a video. And then you can run it through 4 of the models to compare and contrast. Here, I think Gemini VO2 did great here, but it'll run it through all 4 models so that you can generate video or go image to video all in GenSpark. If you're enjoying to see what's possible with AI, we've been using GenSpark for quite a few months now inside the AI community. So I invite you, this is just one of 24 tools that we go over to 10x your productivity to help you work less to earn more. So click the link below to get started for a free 7-day trial. It also has the ability to do price shopping, which is actually pretty impressive. So you could put in a product, you could get it from Amazon, and it will go out and price match and actually go find all the different variations of that product are out there, the different prices, the different stores. And then it will tell you where to go for which is like the best one for the price and what's the range and everything. It did this in like 5 minutes. So great for price shopping. Number 7 is the ability to create spreadsheets. So for example, I was teaching a GenSpark course. So I wanted a list of all the GenSpark videos on YouTube. So that's all the prompt I gave it. I was like, hey, go to YouTube and scrape all the best GenSpark videos out there, rate them beginner, intermediate, or advanced, and put that into a spreadsheet. So it went and generated the spreadsheet. And if we check it out here, you can see, oh, it brought in the title. It got the YouTube URL, what section they were talking about. Is it category beginner, intermediate, the duration, channel name, and a description. And so this was not bad. And it was generated. It took about 10 minutes to generate. So the ability to create spreadsheets is actually very valuable. Feature number 8 is the ability to create presentations inside of GenSpark. So here you can have it do a deep dive, like a webinar, basically, and it will actually also create the slides from it. And it's actually very interesting how it does it. It like thinks out loud what should be on the slide. Like, hey, use these brand colors, talk about these topics. Then it writes code, which you don't have to learn, but it writes HTML, CSS to basically create these slides, which is I find fascinating. And then you could go and export them, show them in a presentation. You could download it as a PowerPoint or a PDF. You can have it match your brand colors, and you can go and edit this too. But it created this in probably less than 5 minutes. Does little animations. Yeah, for webinars, presentations, video sales letters, and so forth. Number 9, the ability to do lead generation. This one with the big asterisk as far as like it actually providing relevant information. So I do have a huge asterisk to it, but you can say, hey, look in the Los Angeles for companies that I can sell my AI training to, for example. So then it goes out, creates a spreadsheet, and you tell it what things you want on the spreadsheet too. You're like, yeah, give me the business name, their website, their phone number, the contact person, and the email address. But you do have to verify. It can make phone calls, like it could actually make reservations. That's the thing. So lead generation, but with a huge asterisk. Number 10 is the ability to create comprehensive like strategies. Like this is a whole marketing strategy for a client. It breaks down their ideal customer profile, demographics, psychographic behaviors, their pain points that they will have. Then it goes into their goals and aspirations, what they're looking for, complete breakdown. It did this in minutes, like with one prompt, which is wild. What are the marketing styles? So what's the content you can produce for top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel? What are the key content pillars or content topics as you should be talking about? Examples, next steps. So this was all generated through GenSpark. And then it also was so kind to also give us you could ask for whatever you want, really, but this is a 50-day content calendar where it actually breaks down and shows. I know it's a little hard to read. Try to make it a little bigger. There you go. So we've got the title, the category, funnel stage, keywords, content description. So this was all generated in just a few minutes for a client, so they know, okay, what content I should be creating that resonates with my ideal audience based on top, middle, and bottom of the funnel. Call to action, length, everything. All done. And it did all this for just 50 days. Very simple. Comprehensive strategy. So these are just 10 demos. There's so much more that GenSpark does, and I highly recommend. Use the link below if you want to get started with GenSpark. But more importantly, I highly recommend if this is new to you, definitely want to sign up for the AI business community. We have a full 1-hour deep dive course inside of GenSpark going through every feature and even as they release new features. So it goes pretty comprehensive. So it's not even a competitive advantage anymore if you're using ChatGPT. Like, that's outdated. You want to be using GenSpark. And so highly recommend start learning GenSpark, join the AI community for courses and training and also weekly mentorship. Have a blessed day.